Hey guys, and welcome to my new series, which I am titling Journey from 0001 MMR. Now, let's start off with a bit of backstory. So, for those of you that don't know, I'm normally about 5,300 matchmaking rating. And although I've attempted to help many newer Dota 2 players over the years, I've heard things like X advice won't work in the 2K or 3K or whatever bracket because your allies there are too bad. Like maybe you can't support because your allies are too bad, or maybe you shouldn't buy wards because they won't use them. In any case, I've heard that repeated a lot through the years, and originally I just assumed that it was all mostly nonsense. But the truth is, I calibrated at about 4,000 ranking whenever the matchmaking first came out for ranked. So I haven't truly had the experience of playing in those games solo before. So recently I decided that I am going to use a 1 MMR account and attempt to climb as high as I can. Using any and all strategies I can. If I do notice anything that would not apply to 5K games, like for example, if in playing these games I notice something and it changes the advice that I would give, I will let you guys know. But the purpose of this series is to show how you can outplay your opponents and how I play against the opponents in this bracket and make sure that I win. Now, first of all, before we do this, I don't endorse you to try this on your own. It's really not good for the system overall, and I probably shouldn't be doing it myself. I'm mostly just doing it for my own morbid curiosity, and the whole videos thing is just a secondary way to give back to the community using this, because I would be playing these games anyway. So first off, I'm currently about 700 rating at this point, and I believe this game is about 700 rating average as well. And we're going to start with a roaming Pudge game. Now, whenever I was making this video, I decided that I'm going to restrict these videos to heroes that are very common in these games. So Pudge is one of the most picked heroes in all brackets actually, but especially below the 2K ranking. It's a very fun hero to play, and I'm going to show you how I play Pudge in this bracket.
30 seconds.
And I'll let you guys in on a little secret. I'm actually not a very good Pudge player. I'm actually pretty terrible at the hero, and I miss a lot of hooks. But I'll tell you how you can mitigate that, and how to best play the hero if you're not very good at landing hooks like me. Because there are different ways to play him. Now, first off, you'll notice the Rubik is pinging me, and the reason for this is because the Rubik, he wants me to go top with the Bounty Hunter. But the truth is, I'm not really going to be able to get much done top alone. I think in this game it's a little better for the Bounty to get solo experience. And I think I can get a lot done by roaming in this game, which is what I'm going to do. So when Rubik gets a little frustrated here, I just tell him, hey man, just chill out. I'm just going to gank bot immediately, and then I'll leave and you guys can get your duel experience by yourselves. Because he might not necessarily realize we can get a kill at level 1, but I'm going to do my best to be a leader and show him how we can do it.
The battle begins.
Let's skip forward a little bit. Oh, and regarding my starting items, so if you start as a roaming Pudge, you generally want to start with either boots or a windlace. Personally, I prefer boots, but like I said, I'm not that great of a Pudge player. Windlace is a bit better now that tranquil boots can be made from it. And I also pick up some tangos and a clarity as well as a smoke. And one thing you might have noticed here is I didn't actually get a ward at the start here, and you could forego this smoke to get a ward sent out to you immediately after the start of the game. But I didn't really do that because it's not necessarily that important to have a ward at the start with Pudge, because you only walk around with Rot for the very beginning portion of the game. You don't have Hook until level 2. So just starting with that smoke is going to work out just fine for me. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to wait out of vision Actually, I should technically be about right here, but I moved forward a little bit too much. But I'm waiting right here to see what exactly the heroes are here. To see what heroes show up. And in the 5K bracket, due to the popularity of roaming Pudge, people have learned in the off lane to be very careful about going up to the first wave if Pudge is not in vision. And that's where this guy messed up here, was because he didn't look to see where I was on the map if I had showed anywhere else yet. He just walked up to the wave, and this is a death sentence. His other issue was that he got his, he should have gotten Arctic Burn, because, to be honest, he could have lived here. If he just would have used Arctic Burn and moved this way, I think he may have just barely escaped. Possibly, especially because he wouldn't have boot start. While normally you shouldn't start with boots on most heroes, it gives you a pretty big advantage against Pudge, since he normally goes a boot start or when they start as well, so he can get in range for rot. But again there, because I was able to get into rot range, there was no way he was escaping at that point. So I got my first gank done. I am halfway to level 2, or 2/3 most like. And next I'm going to immediately go and gank mid. Because, you see, bot wave, because we were attacking the Winter Wyvern down here, the creep wave attacked our heroes a bit. So that means that because our creeps were not attacking their creeps, due to our heroes drawing aggro, it means that our bottom wave is going to push in. So there's no reason for me to stick around right now. I might as well just go somewhere else and get something done. I could have also pulled here if I wanted to, but I didn't feel like it was necessary. Okay, let's fast forward a little bit. Okay, I smoke when I'm right here, just so I can move faster, because smoke makes you 15% faster, which is a pretty big amount, because I go from like 330 to 373 here just because of that. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to walk all the way around. I'm going to walk from my ground up here and onto his high ground right here. And even though he has a ward here, truth be told, people usually don't buy their own wards in 1K. I don't know if this guy was bought by himself or given to him by an ally, but that is pretty rare to see them ward mid. I'm actually glad to see that he did that, because that was the correct response. But even assuming they didn't have wards, smoke is very useful, because first of all, it makes you faster, and second of all, daytime vision is 1800, so I would have showed much earlier. Like for example, let me go ahead and bring up the dire fog. Okay, so if I had not smoked, I would be visible right here, even though the smoke break range is around this distance, right? So because his vision extends out here, he would have seen me regardless if I hadn't smoked, even if he didn't have this ward here. And see, I just go ahead. You can see me on the map right here. Even though I have the dire vision on, I walk around. And also, while I'm here, I do place a ward. And I place the ward when I'm smoked, meaning that he's not going to see me place it. Not necessarily important at 1K, but there's no reason for me to place the ward after I'm visible, if that makes sense. I might as well just drop it while I'm here and invisible. And the reason I picked up the ward after I got the kill bottom was because I'm very close to hitting level 2, and I'm going to hit it after I get this kill, or fail the gank, whichever happens. And that means that I'll have a ward ready for whenever I do gank mid with hook ready. So I walk up to the target, just walk all the way around, activate my rot, hit him a couple times, just keep hitting him. And in there, you should let your Shadow Fiend get the kill. And I'm actually curious if he had full... Yeah, he had 12 souls at this point. So whenever your Shadow Fiend gets a kill on a hero, he gains 12 souls. So although it might not sound like much, that's an extra 6 souls he gets here. And normally I would say stealing the kill from your allies doesn't have that much of an effect. because there's not that huge of a difference between getting the kill gold versus getting the area of effect gold. But with a Shadow Fiend, you always want to make sure you give it to them, as long as they have less than max souls. I guess if they have max soul, it doesn't really matter. But again, easy gank. And I know that some of you might have had experiences where you've roamed or ganked in a pub and your allies didn't respond. And honestly, my experience most of the time, at least recently, is that if you're doing an obvious gank, then your allies will usually respond to it if they're within a decent range. Like whenever I gank the drow here, like when I gank the drow, let me just show you real quick. Okay, so I'm ganking the drow, and it's pretty obvious, right? Like SF is only like 500 range away, and I'm already here. I'm already within his vision. Like even if his camera is zoomed all the way in, like this, he can still see me here, and that's the big important part of it. I think Pudge is one of the better heroes to roam or gank with early in these games because your allies are going to be expecting it. And that will allow them to react accordingly. Let's go ahead and skip ahead a little bit. I go ahead and get my level 2, grab Bounty Rune while I'm here.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And I go ahead and ward up the safe lane. Probably shouldn't have done that in vision there, but they're not going to punish me because they are 1k rating most likely. And here I see that the wave is pushed in, so I decide while I'm here, I'm just going to go ahead and pull. So I do it at the 54, 55 mark, stand there for the creeps to attack me, and then they go over there. Now, sometimes, what my allies should have done is they should have moved the creeps over here a little bit more, but because they didn't, the range creep stayed over here and re-aggroed onto the enemy creeps. But not a big deal, because their wave is still going to push in. Not the end of the world. And so if we see here, take a look, I see these two guys are going in on my silencer. And so what I know is that I take a look and I see that the PA is level 2, and the Winter Wyvern is level 3. Now I already know from earlier the Winter Wyvern has 1 point in Cold Embrace, and she just used her Arctic Burn as well as her Splinter Blast. If you click onto her, you can realize she has no mana left whatsoever to do anything except for freeze. And a level 2 PA is not going to do anything to me. So really, I can just go up to these two heroes and just rot and attack them with no consequence whatsoever. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here. And here's a little secret about Pudge. It's not all about hooks. Like, for example, in this game, you'll have noticed that right when this was happening, I was level 2 already, right? I already had Meat Hook. But the thing is, I didn't need to use it. The secret about Pudge is that you don't need to use Meat Hook unless it's necessary. Like for here, I can just walk up to the enemies and use Rot, and then if they get far away enough that they're outside of Rot range and I have no way to catch up, then I can use Meat Hook. And I think that's where a lot of Pudges in this level, at this level of play, fail, is because they're relying too much on Hook. Like, you don't always need to land a hook to get a kill as Pudge. In fact, in the early game, Rot is more than enough to secure a kill early. Especially because it has a 30% slow, which is really huge since it doesn't really have a duration, since it lasts forever as long as you can keep it on them. And if you think about it this way, if you hook somebody, you have to use your cast animation, and if you do miss them, even if they are right next to you, then and they might end up getting too far away from you for Rot to take effect because you had to stand still to cast the hook. So really, you shouldn't be using Hook unless you have to, or unless you know you can hit the target for sure. Now, whenever I walk up, I see that the drow backs away immediately, so I know that she probably has a ward somewhere around here now. I'm not quite sure where. And I would say that Dewarding observers is almost always worth it because you get all your gold refunded for the sentry, and you get a little bit of experience. But the problem is I can't tell exactly where the sentry was just when she backed off. Like, it could be over here, it could be over here, it could be over here, etc. So I'm not going to buy a sentry just yet. Right now I'm just kind of going to wait and run back here. See if I can get anything done. But again, Drow's backing off, making sure to play safe. So I'm just going to go bot again. And now that I see the SF is getting gone on by the Drow, I'm gonna go back mid. And you see right there, I'm terrible as Pudge. I miss hooks all the time, especially since the speed nerf. But there was no way I was gonna catch the Drow unless I threw a hook, so I just decided to throw it. And I mean, I have clarity anyway, so not a huge deal if I miss. It's not like I was gonna catch her if I just ran anyway. Oh, these guys have a lot of wards. That was unexpected. Anyways, we will just go ahead and fast forward a bit. Okay, so I see the Timber Saw going on my Rubik. So I go into intervene. Block them off as much as I can. And see, I'm holding off to use Hook. Because I know they're not going to do anything to me. Because the Timber Saw is only level 3. And the PA is level 3 and the Winter Wyvern is level 4. And again, the Winter Wyvern is still out of mana because he's using his spells incorrectly. So I can still just walk up and use my rot as much as I want within reason. See, I literally just have to keep walking forward, and then I just use the hook to secure the kill there. And our SF does a decent gank. And I go ahead and use the clarity to get my mana back up. Okay. Right now I'm just kind of waiting to see if the Drow goes up to their creep wave. Might try another failed hook again here, let's see. Oh yeah, the Drow went too far. So, let's go back. So, I see the Drow's here, so I'm just going to hang out and see if he goes further. I also wonder if he sees me. Oh, no, he doesn't. I was just barely out of his ward range. Interesting. Okay, so the Drow walks up, and as soon as the Drow reaches... So, I notice Creep Wave is pushing, and the Drow might go forward, because when our Creep Wave comes back here, whenever the Creep Wave comes back, there's going to be like 2 or 3 creeps left on the Dire that's still alive here, attacking. Next to the Creep Wave is going to meet like around this area. And the SF's going to attempt to get last hits on the Dire creeps there. And I figured the Drow might run up and try to deny the SF, or at least harass him. Especially because she is getting pretty close to level 6. So I kind of just wait here and see what happens. Being patient is an important part of roaming. Sometimes you have to let your opportunities make themselves. So as soon as I see the Drow walk up the ramp here, I know that I can just start walking and most likely cut the guy off. And even if he turns, I can attempt to hook him. So I just keep walking towards him, and I make sure to, important here, is I make sure I turn on my rot before he silences me. And that will make sure that I can still slow him. And right here, I'm just trying to body block the Drow. Our SF already has close to max souls, but I'm just doing everything I can to make sure that the kill is secured. Like, Pudge attacks for a decent amount of damage, but just body blocking him there makes a huge difference in where his position would be. Like, if I hadn't blocked him somewhat, he'd be like over here, maybe. And you might not think it, but that can make a significant difference. And also, because I blocked him, our SF was able to close the distance and get some damage on her as well. Let's go ahead and skip ahead a little bit again. And here, so I saw the Winter Wyvern. Let me go ahead and just put on my fog. Okay. So I see the Winter Wyvern was around this area. And I have full mana anyway, so I'm like, what the hell, I'll just throw a hook, right? And bam, I just barely managed to get him. Sometimes blind hooks are worth it, but the thing is, there was no way I was getting that kill unless I landed that hook anyways. Like, I wouldn't have gotten that kill if I didn't hook. And right there, I just deny because I have such low health. I know there's a very low chance of me escaping because he has a Timber Saw. And besides, I get a free trip back to base anyways. And also, if you suicide with your skills, as opposed to suiciding to neutrals, you get reduced spawn time. So in 7.0, they made it so that if you suicide to neutrals, you always have a 26-second minimum respawn time. But if you use your abilities like Rot to deny yourself, then you will respawn in your normal time, which for me was like 15 seconds or something. Anyways, so I respawn. I see the Drow was diving under tower for our bounty hunter here, so I TP. And then, not the Drow, sorry, but the PA. So I TP, then use my Rot. As Pudge, you want to keep an eye on the minimap because he's one of the best anti-tower divers in the game because of the Rot slow, and also because he has hook as well, which can lead to some clutch plays when enemies are diving towers. And really, I should have a TP here. I'm not sure why I didn't, but I should have bought another TP while I was at base. Maybe I didn't have the money at the time. Oh yeah, this was a little embarrassing. Okay, so I thought I was going to kill the Drow in time, but I guess I must have underestimated your damage because I just barely was short, especially with the tower damage. I really should not have gone for that kill there. When you're Pudge, you're pretty strong in the first few minutes of the game, but after about 5 minutes, you fall off in relative to a lot of the other heroes, especially the mid laner. So I really should not have been fighting her there at that point. If anything, I didn't think she was going to turn and fight me. I thought she was just going to keep running, but she made the correct decision. Okay, I'm walking back. I don't have a TP because it's on cooldown currently. So I'm just walking as fast as I can. And I probably could have hooked the Timber there, but I decided to keep my hook just in case he used Timber Chain. And there, I may not have necessarily needed to use hook, but I used it because I knew he was this direction, and it was going to kill him for sure because his health was so low. One really good thing about hook is if you like download some replays from 7K Pudge players, you'll notice that they try to save hooks for when their enemies are forced to move in a certain area. Like for here, I walk towards the Timber and I don't use hook yet. I just use Rot. Now whenever he Timber chains over here, I don't hook him yet because he could go over here or he could go up here or through here, right? So I keep chasing, and meanwhile he's slowed a little bit. And when I make it here, I see that he went this way. I can still see him going up here. So I know that if I hook in this direction, I'm definitely going to kill him no matter what, because he has nowhere else to go from there.
I just cut your losses.
Just skip ahead a little bit. Going back mid. Right now I'm just kind of waiting to see if their mid will show up.
Coin for me.
Now one thing I do want to point out real quick here, let me just see where it was. I know it was somewhere around here. Okay, so let's go ahead and rewind back a little bit. Wait, is it up there yet? Oh, no, yeah, not yet. Okay, let me turn on the fog of both teams. Okay, okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So when I ganked the, I didn't point this out earlier, but whenever I ganked the drow mid, I noticed she did something a little bit weird. So I was kind of wondering why she walked all the way into the river. And I saw her, she just kept walking, right? There was no reason for her to do this. And then I saw her turn in this direction and put something here. Now, you can't see it from here, but I actually checked her, her inventory when I was ganking her here. And I saw that she had a sentry ward in her inventory. And although I didn't click on her soon enough to see the observer, but I did see that she may have placed an observer while she was here. So when I did that, I made a mental note to buy a sentry and place it mid so that I would catch her ward and take it out. And later, that's exactly what I did. Like right here. Not quite right here, but later in the replay. See, I buy the sentry right here, and then I get it sent out to me, along with a tome, to make sure I can reach level 6. And whenever that sentry comes, I'm going to use the D-ward, this ward here. Now, when the drow was ganking the SF here, I tried to attempt to hook her, but again, I'm just not very good at hooking.
Bountiful. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Right now, I'm just gonna get some XP while the SF is away. Just make sure you get all the last hits in lane while your mid's away. And right now, I'm looking at the minimap while I'm farming, and I see that if I look down here, I see there's a big cluster of enemy heroes and my heroes. So there's most likely something going down here, so I take a look and then I TP immediately. Because I know my eyes are going to need my help. So I walk up and I immediately start eating on the timber saw while the silencer casts his silence. We're able to kill him. Meanwhile, I still got hook. I shouldn't have hooked there. I should have just kept walking. But I made the stupid decision to hook. And again, that's why you should save your hook until it's absolutely necessary. And there are no targets nearby. But luckily, because I'm so fast due to tranquils, I can just keep walking. And like, if I would have had mana here, I could have hooked the Phantom Assassin. But I didn't, unfortunately, because I used it earlier. Right now, I'm just going to go ahead and walk back to base. Could have maybe considered shrining, but I didn't really want to use it myself. I should have just used a... one thing you can do when you're in base is, if it's the very beginning of the game, and you're not going to be pushed to tier 3 soon, you can just use a base shrine, and that'll recover your health and mana really fast. I normally do that, but I didn't do it this time for some reason I'm not entirely sure of. One thing you can do is Pudge is get a little bit of farm from the jungle creeps using your rot, and you can also dismember creeps to heal yourself and also deal damage to them. Occasionally, I will jungle a bit if I need some farm and there's nothing going on. Right now, I see that the Shadow Fiend needs my help, but I'm not going to make it in time, unfortunately. It looks like the bounty's going to die too, maybe. Yeah, I tried to hook him, but he was already dead. At this point, I'm kind of just waiting to see if they're going to push in, and then maybe if they do, one of my allies can come and help me.
I meant to do that.
Again, I shouldn't have hooked there. You should just walk up to them and wait and see what happens. And there, I paid for my mistake.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay, now I go mid to get some farm.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Get some wards
Dire's
up.
middle tower is under attack.
I'm gonna see if any of them are coming bot. Maybe get another gank off. At this point, I kind of have to be really careful because a lot of my early game strength is gone, and I have to rely on my allies a lot more to get kills. And that was a little unfortunate. I don't know why. I guess the Rubik kind of panicked there and lifted the slaughter as soon as I hooked him. But that was just a little unlucky, you could say. Kind of just sticking around to see if they go ahead and dive the silencer. Then I could get something done. But unfortunately, they have wards here. They have wards everywhere in this game. Kind of impressed, honestly. And again, there you'll see that I died because I was a little bit out of position. I shouldn't have been that far out. I should have been playing a little bit more safer, in all honesty. Let's see where I go next. But we need to get some creeps. And then I'm going to, I know they have wards, so I'm trying to smoke also so I can get there faster. Because I don't really want my bounty hunter to die here. I also picked up an invis ring, which helped a lot. They had a sentry here, which is unfortunate, though. But thankfully, I'm able to just walk around and get the wyvern. I see he's just standing still, so I just go ahead and hook him, and then use my ult on him. Thankfully, the drow was busy attacking the bounty, so I'm able to just run. Yeah, and again, I just missed the hook. But I'm able to walk up to the drow and just use my rot on her, thankfully. Although the PA gets our silencer, that was a bad choice by her. Because now I can kill her and reap the benefits. And now that I hit level 9, or level 11 actually, because I went for the 2-mana Regen talent. Now that I hit level 11, I get a decent power spike in that I get Flesh Heap. And because I was active in so many kills in the early game, I now have 14 stacks. So that gives me an extra 14 strength, which is 280 extra health, which is fairly significant at this point in the game. And I've also got my Aether Lens coming. Although, like I said, you shouldn't rely on your hook too much, Aether Lens is still really good because it increases all the damage you do, it gives you some maximum mana, and it also gives you some HP regeneration. And one thing you may not think is important, but actually plays a fairly big role, is the Dismember range. So the Dismember range without Aether Lens is like basically almost melee range, right? But with the Aether Lens, it's much larger now, you can see. It's like bigger than Rot range, honestly. It's like double what Rot range is. And that'll allow me to get more Dismembers off just by walking up to people, which can make a big difference. And the reason I went Blade Mail after this was because they have 4 heroes which rely on physical damage. So PA is entirely physical, Slaughter is entirely physical, Drow is entirely physical, and Winter Wyvern, although she might not seem like it, also has big physical damage, just purely through her ultimate ability. So I went ahead and got Blade Mail, because it not only will give me some armor to deal with that, but it'll also allow me to counter the Slaughter as well as the Timber Star well enough. And again there, I just go ahead and throw out a hook, because there's no other way I'm actually killing the Wyvern. I actually hit this hook for once, and because of it, I do manage to get a kill on her. Now that I have the maximum mana, I can better, and the mana talent, I can better afford to throw out hooks like that without punishing myself as bad. Right now, I just see the PA walking up, so I just go ahead and rot her. I don't have reason to do anything else. I don't have reason to hook her, so I just go ahead and use Dismember. And I see the other... If I take a look now, I see that they have 2 heroes here. And 2 of their heroes are down. All their wyverns are going to be back up soon. So there's going to be 3... There's going to be 2 heroes, possibly 3 or 4 if they TP. So I'm going to need to be really careful, especially since I just used Dismember. But if I play this correctly, I think we'll be okay. So I just walk up to the Drow. And the important part about walking up to Drow is that you disable her passive, which is Marksmanship. I think the SF might have been inside the range there, but either way, me being in rot range for Drow makes sure that she's not getting her bonus agility, meaning that she's not going to need nearly as much damage to the Shadow Fiend, which allows us to get the kill on her. And thankfully the Bounty Hunter turned back, so we were able to get the kill on the Slardar as well.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay, we go ahead and use Shrine. I just go ahead and use the hook on there because I'm going to get the mana back refunded anyways. Just use it to farm the camp and get a bit more efficiency. One thing you can do is because Meat Hook does 360 pure damage, you can hook the siege units to get some easy last hits, because siege units actually take 50% less damage from heroes, from attacks, but they take the full damage from pure spells. So I just makes it so I can push out that wave real fast, and still ensure myself to get the gold from the catapult, because they give you a bunch more gold than just the normal lane creeps. I go ahead and put a ward up here so that whenever we're pushing soon, we can see who's coming here, and I can get a kill if necessary. Right now, I see the I see the PA is pushing bot, so I go ahead and ping her and see if anyone's coming. But I know that the thing is, I know that I can beat the PA because she's only level 11, and she has almost no items at this stage in the game. So I know that I can effectively 1v1 a PA just by using my skills and abilities here. So Dismember, for example, Dismember will do 90 damage per second plus the strength multiplier. So 90 damage for 3 seconds is 270 damage. And if we do the multiplication here, it is, I have 110 strength, so 10 times 0.45. That's an extra about 49 damage per second, so 49 times 3 plus 270. Okay, so Dismember deals 417 damage total. And then you have the 360 pure for my hook. So just from that, PA's health is like less than half. And when you add in a few seconds of rot, it's almost a for sure kill at this point. Like, just look at how much damage I'm doing to her there just by using this Dismember and rot. Like, it was literally a one-hit combo. There was nothing she could do at that point. Realizing what your strengths are relative to other players at specific points in the match is a really important skill to have in Dota. Like there, I knew I was able to solo kill the PA just because I had a better feeling for when I was strong. If I was a less experienced player, I may have not felt like I was able to do that. That just comes with experience and seeing situations like where you mess it up. Like the only reason I know that's the case is because I've played for so long and I've messed up so many times myself. And right now, I saw the Slardar. If we move back, I saw the Slardar was farming up here when I was TPing. And I had a ward on me, so I was like, okay, I'm going to walk up here and place the ward right here. And that means if he walks this way, I'm going to catch him just as he walks away, and I can chase him from there. And if he goes this way, he's screwed. So I put the ward there, he goes this way, he made the wrong decision, and he gets blown up, basically. I shouldn't have done the hook there, but thankfully we got the kill anyways. Realistically, I should have just kept walking. Go ahead and skip forward a tiny bit. And now, because I'm level 17, I have 19 stacks of fleshy, and I have 2.5 bonus strength for all of those. So that's 38 plus 9, so that's 47 extra strength, which is an extra 940 health, which is pretty significant. Also add some damage to my attacks as well. And that's why Roving Pudge can be so good even with this bracket, is just because you can scale really, really well if you manage to get a good early game. At this point, I just kind of walk up to the PA, because again, I see that she has no items. She still only has level 11, so there's really nothing she's going to be able to do here to either me or the SF. So I just walk up and start using my Dismember, especially once I've seen Drow use the Gust. I know I can walk in for sure at that point and have nothing bad happen. Again, I shouldn't have used the hook right there. I should have moved a bit away from the creeps. Perhaps moved over this direction. It was a bad location to use hook anyways. Luckily, because I'm patient, I'm able to stay around and throw a hook again. My vision over there. Yeah, so I saw her last time in the Sea Creep. And I see her, she's in the middle of her attack animation. And you can't move in the middle of your attack animation, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out, and it'll most likely hit her. That's another great thing that you can do as Pudge, is you can time the hook so that you throw it during an enemy's cast or attack animation. And unless they cancel that animation, which is pretty unlikely, you'll hit them. And right here is the same principle I used with the slaughter earlier, except I didn't really know for sure if anyone was up here. I kind of just sat in the trees, and I placed my ward up here. See, I just sit here, I place the ward, and I see someone's coming. And I know the timber, this rock right here actually is unpathable. You have to walk around it. So when I see he's walking in this area right here, I know that he's screwed and I can just throw the hook even if he has vision of me, because there's nowhere else he's going to walk. He can't go down here, he can't go up here, he's just stuck in this area. And so I didn't really show it in action here, but immediately after I used Dismember, I went ahead and used Blade Mail, and the reason for that is because if Timber had tried to escape with his Timber Chain, he would have damaged himself due to the Blade Mail.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Anyways, I don't think the rest of this replay is too relevant. Let me make sure. Yeah, 65-26. I think it was pretty much over by this point. They never really recovered from here on out. It just got worse and worse for them. But one thing we are going to do real quick is we are going to watch another game where we had a considerably worse start, I think, if I remember right. Sorry for the long video, but hopefully this one will go a little faster. Let's rewind a bit. Okay. So, start of the game. I think I picked second, maybe, and I went mostly the same item build. I didn't really have much of a reason to change it up.
30 seconds to battle. The battle begins.
I don't really do anything at the start because there's nothing we can do here with just Monkey King and myself, especially once I saw they had like 4 heroes top. So I see that I just walk up here. I'm just gonna scout the area out a little bit, and I see the Enchantress. And I can just go ahead and walk up to her and start rotting a bit, get a little bit of damage on her. I'm not really entirely sure what she's going to do at this point. And this is one thing you can do at this bracket is, I mean, the Enchantress should have told her team that there was a Pudge up here, but I'm assuming she didn't because the Weaver didn't seem to react properly. But anyways, I sit mid. And when I'm sitting up here, there's one thing I'm thinking about. I want to wait for the Weaver to use his Shikuchi. The reason is because the Gyrocopter does not have any reliable disables. I don't have any reliable disables either. So that means I need to have the Gyrocopter bait out the Shikuchi first, and that'll give me a relatively long window, at least at level 1, where I can walk up to here and contribute. So I saw that Weaver already used his invisibility. I've got roughly 8 seconds because he ended it a little early. So I start walking immediately and use my rot. And because I made it there, I went immediately. I was barely able to get it off in time before I used it again.
First blood! Now that's how it's done!
Weaver's really hard for Pudge to gank. And that's why you have to play it pretty carefully.
Are fortified.
Again, I see the Weavers going on the Gyrocopter here, so I just decided to walk back. I watch again, and I see the Weavers going on the Gyrocopter again, and he's already used his Shikuchi again, so I just go ahead and walk back and use Rot once more. Like, he would have died regardless there, I think, but it was always good that I was still in the area just to make sure. At this point, I'm low health, so I'm telling the Monkey King to come to the shrine. And the Gyrocopter came as well.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Now, the tough thing about this game is that if you look at our heroes, we have a Wraith King who's jungling, and he's doing pretty poor in the jungle. It's 1 minute and 49 seconds, and he still has only level 1, and he's not going to get a single point in his stun until like level 7 or level 8 or something. So he's going to be pretty useless for like the first 20 minutes of the game. And we have the Medusa bottom, who is going to die like I think like 5 times in the first 10 minutes. That's a little unfortunate because as a solo Pudge, there's not a ton I can do about that against their dual lane. Like, I might be able to gank it later, but I can't really just sit there the entire game to stop her from feeding, unfortunately. I'm just going to have to sack that lane, and hopefully I can win the other 2 lanes hard enough to have a significant impact. And I see that there's still 2 heroes mid harassing the Gyrocopter, so I'm coming back here to help him again. At least the Gyrocopter has a significant way to get kills early, especially because he got an early point in homing missile, which means that it's going to be easier for me to land a hook. Again, I just go ahead and walk up, and now I'm looking to see if the Weaver pops up here and see if I can use hook on him. But by this point, he's just a little bit too far. I shouldn't have walked the entire range there. I should have just known it was a lost cause. Right now, I'm going to walk bot and see if maybe I can get a kill there. And I try to catch up to the TA and rot her so I can slow her. But unfortunately, Medusa turns for some reason. If she hadn't turned there, I think she would have gotten away. But at least I'm able to kill the TA because of it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm able to get my
Radiant's
tranquils.
middle tower is under attack.
Wraith King is level 2. Okay, and unfortunately I missed the hook here. Again, I probably should have just walked around, I think, like I did before in the previous game. That would have been a lot better for me to do. Fortunately, the Monk King dies to the axe. I'm gonna walk up here and harass the axe a bit, but I'm not able to do an entire lot. I shouldn't have even wasted my hook there, because it was a massive waste of mana there for me, and I took a lot of health damage as well. Thankfully, I was able to get away, but it could have been really close. And he actually got me through the damage over time. My Tranquil Boots didn't kick in quite early enough. That was pretty poor on my part. Right now, I saw that the Lena dived the Medusa. I'm keeping bot, see if I can get a kill, but when Lena gets to this point, I kind of just throw out the hook, hoping I can catch her, because there's no way I'm going to catch up to her by that point on foot.
A golden thread.
While the Medusa's away, I'm just trying to get what farm I can from the lane. Now, I realized that I was having some more luck mid, so I'm going to try to go back mid and see if I can get better results now. And I walk all the way around so I can get within rot range. Unfortunately, her heal is just really strong at this point in the game. Even with only one level into it, it heals a lot. It heals 40 damage, 40 health per second, which is pretty significant.
Radiant's bottom tower is under Radiant structures are fortified.
We use bottom shrine with a gyro, and gyro wants to gank bot, so I follow him. We see the Lena, but it's a little too late for me at that point. Right now, it's if you take a look at the scoreboard, it's been a pretty terrible early game for me and my team. I had a failed gank once. My Medusa has died 4 times under tower. She has no farm whatsoever. She doesn't even have boots yet. So I'm just getting what farm I can from this lane. And I know it's going to be a tough game ahead. In all likelihood. I see the Gyrocopter's coming back. Getting ready to use my hook, but I just missed it again, unfortunately. I should have waited until I forced her to move, or until I got closer for rot. And now the Gyrocopter's farming bot with the Medusa. They're both competing for farm. So the game is just getting worse with every passing minute, especially because my Wraith King is level 4, even though he's been jungling, and now he gets killed mid by the Weaver. So pretty depressing game so far. But you will see how we do manage to recover it. I go ahead and I walk and get the bounty rune, and I'm going mid. Again, maybe hopefully getting something successfully off this time. I think I would have been just better off sitting bot, baiting the Medusa, hopefully, because the TA is still low level, and Lena is still only level 5 as well. So I maybe could have baited them into diving into tower and then turning it with rot and hook at that point. I think sitting mid here was just kind of a waste of time. Again, I missed my hook, because I wasn't applying what I had done last game.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
At this point, I am baiting my Medusa. I'm waiting for them to show up here so I can react accordingly. So I go on the TA because I know I can remove her refraction charges nearly instantly. But unfortunately, her damage is just too much for me to take on alone. And right here, I'm just going to wait and see if maybe I can regen enough with Tranquils to maybe get a hook off and get a kill.
Radiant's middle tower.
Unfortunately, it's not like that's going to happen with the Lena backing off. So, again, important part of Pudge is counter TPs. So I had a TP at this time, so I saw that they were diving my Monkey King top. So I teleport immediately. And go on the axe. Now, because I dismember, finally, I'm able to get a kill on him. And the Weaver, if you check his mana beforehand, real quick. So, I checked the Weaver's mana and I saw that he doesn't have enough mana to use his time lapse. So, I knew he wasn't going to get away here. Checking your opponent's mana is really important, and you should do it very often. Because if an enemy does not have enough mana to use a skill, then you can engage them with a lot more confidence than you would be able to otherwise. Got my arcane booster coming to me, and I got a ward. Let's see what happens now.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Now, I saw that they were pushing this wave over here, so that's why I put the ward here. Just so I could be safe, because I didn't know if they were trying to gank me because they saw me here or something. So that's why I put the ward, so I could see this entire area. And I was kind of waiting for my allies to show up because I didn't really want to engage alone here.
Get over it!
But thankfully, because I had the ward here and I played carefully, I played safely, I was able to get a hook on the Weaver. Like, let's go ahead and see if they saw me here. So they couldn't even see me here. They couldn't even see me.
Get over it!
And also, I targeted with with Dismember while he was in flight to me. Because of the ward there, I was able to do that, meaning that as soon as he got here, I would be able to chomp on him. And also because Shikuchi's fade time is not instant, despite what most people might believe, it's actually a quarter of a second. So as long as you can get the Dismember on him within that quarter of a second, it will still go through, even if he's invisible. There's something to be said about wards that instantly pay for themselves. Like, one thing I've always said is that if you're not sure where to place a ward, wards that will help you right now will usually be better than wards that might help you later. Like that ward that helped me there, helped me to make sure that they were not going to try to kill me there. And also let me know that I could kill the Weaver because the axe was backing off. So that ward definitely paid off for me, at least. Regardless of whether my enemies or my allies use that ward, that 65 gold I invested has definitely paid for itself already. Now, as you go into later higher rated games, they may not necessarily be the case because you might need the vision elsewhere. But here in the slower ranks, I think it's perfectly fine to use words for a one-time use if they get you something significant like a kill.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So I hear stuff going on bottom, so I rotate down there. Make sure to got my TP on the meanwhile. I'm just sitting here waiting for the enemy to show up. Throw a hook. I really should have just waited for the Monkey King to throw his stun. In fact, I should have just told him to throw it beforehand, but I got a little impatient. Again, I'm just waiting around to see if they stick around. If not, I will go ahead and move. Or we can push this tower and take it at least. Fortunately, the Monkey King was dead. I think I should have considered backing off and then hooking the Monkey King to make sure he didn't die there. I probably should have done that on second thought, but it did not occur to me at the time. I wanted to keep myself safe. Again, you shouldn't hook next to creep waves. Like I said, I'm pretty bad at Pudge, so sometimes I don't remember that as much as I should, but just something to keep in mind. You shouldn't be hooked if there's anything near a creep wave. But because the Lena walked into Dismember range, I can go ahead and just use Dismember on her.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The good thing about this match is that there's only two things this game to counter my Dismember, and that would be Light Strike Away, as well as the Axe Call. And I don't know where the Axe is pushing top right now, so I know I'm safe from that. So if I use Dismember on Alina, I know there's no way for these heroes down here to cancel it other than killing me.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's top
So like I
tower
said,
is under
we had
attack.
a pretty terrible start, but I'm starting to bring it back with some good pickoffs and team fights here. Even though my hooks are pretty terrible, I'm still able to contribute a lot just by using Rot and Dismember intelligently. I'm going top because I know my Medusa's going to need help against these heroes.
Top tower has fallen.
Again, I'm trying not to hook the axe here because I know he's most likely going to dodge it, and there, unfortunately, he did see me throwing it, so he chose to turn back. I threw the ward up here just so I could see the Enchantress running, but it looks like she went up here. But thankfully, the ward allowed me to get the Dismember on the axe up here. And after Dismember, I went ahead and used the hook, and that allowed us to get the kill. Again, wards that benefit you now in these games are usually going to be better than ones that may benefit you later. Because you can't always guarantee on them giving you an advantage later in the game. Especially at this rank.
Where's my pension?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Money to burn.
And right now, because I'm level 10, as I said before, I'm about to hit that level 11 power spike where I get a bunch more health. And I turn back around because I see the Enchantress is going back around the Monkey King.
Dire's top tower
And
is
again,
under
I use the hook to secure the kill there, which you can't do anything about it. And immediately after I see the axe run this way to go to the Medusa, I immediately TP, because I know there's no other way I'm making it out of this alive. And trying to
Dire's top tower is under
deny
attack.
myself
Dire's
via
top
Rot is a
tower
bit
fallen.
unreliable.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And if you take a look at the map, we currently are down 3 towers, and we've only taken one of their towers, and we're still down in kills. If we take a look at the game stats, let's go ahead and look at the, where is it, net worth. Yeah, so I'm actually second highest in net worth right now. I guess it's because of all the kills I've been in. Wraith King has got highest net worth, but he's still kind of useless because he doesn't, he hasn't really helped too much quite yet. And right now I'm just waiting for them to push in, and then maybe we can manage to get a kill with Dismember. But I see there's 4 heroes here, so I need to be real careful about how I approach this. So I immediately turn, and I realize, shit, they have 4 heroes here, so I better just run, right? So I immediately just start running for the closest tower,
Is under attack.
fast as I can. I use the shrine because I want to immediately use my TP to get back into the action if my teammates need my help.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm not quite sure why I didn't TP. Probably should have in retrospect. Again, I'm just going to go ahead and use my Rot.
Radiant's top tower
Walk
is
up.
under attack.
And I got the hook there, because thankfully the Monkey King used a stun right at the exact same time. He used it right, perfect time there, and that allowed me to get the kill. Really good for him. And I just used Dismember on the axe. I tried to use the Rot to deny myself there, but the bug was just too strong. Unfortunately, our Wraith King, he had an issue with turning his armor on. Maybe an issue with his hotkeys or something. So he wasn't able to get very many kills, at least this part in the game. Okay, so again, I'm aiming for a blade mail this game. And a reason is because, again, they have 2 heroes, which are both significantly rely on physical damage. Not quite as bad as the last game I was in, but it's still pretty significant. And also because the blade mail is going to make a significant difference against the Lena, Enchantress, actually all of them, I would say, except for maybe the TA. Unless if she has refraction down, it's pretty good. But like all these heroes do lots of burst damage, except maybe for X. So the blade mail is going to help a lot in my survivability, meaning that they have to make a choice between attempting to kill me or taking a lot of damage in return. Especially because I already have 13 stacks in Flesh Heap, which is an extra 260 health, which can make quite a big difference. I'm just kind of following now to see if I can maybe get a hook on the Weaver, but he's just too far. Somehow I'm able to get the hook off, but it doesn't really matter because he turned invis already. And again, using using Dismember wisely can make a huge difference. Because like here, I just use Dismember on Axe after he turns around, and because I have Aether Lens, he can't outrun me really. Because the range is so huge on it. I shouldn't have missed that hook. That was really dumb of me, actually. I'm not quite sure how that happened. Yeah, I should have... I was throwing the hook to catch Weaver while I was invisible. But I should have just waited until he was visible here to see if I could actually land it. Because if I had waited till he was visible, I might have actually been able to hit it.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's tower is under attack.
Okay, so we are pushing the tower. I see the Enchantress is engaging, so I just go ahead and use the Dismember on her. Again, unfortunately, I died here, but my allies are starting to clean up at least. Although, on second thought, it's turned into a 3v2 now, so this may not end up well for them. Yeah, that was a little unfortunate.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, so we're recovering somewhat, but we're still not faring that great this game. Is there a way to turn on the net worth chart? I can't ever remember. Oh, there it is. Okay. So there's a somewhat large. It's not really huge, but it's there. You know, you can definitely feel it. And the XP graph is mostly the same. I guess it's because we've been getting lots of kills on their high-level heroes. Also, I think I'm the highest. No, we're all tied for the same level. That's weird. Anyways, put a ward mid. Hopefully the Moose will be able to farm safely with that. Now I join the Monkey King up here. I put a ward because, again, I want to place wards that benefit me immediately. So I place the ward so I can make sure I have entire vision of them. I'm trying to be really careful about throwing my hook here. So, here I started to throw my hook, but I was like, I didn't really want to miss it. And I noticed they didn't seem to see me here. And it was nighttime, so their vision is low. So I saw them walking over here, so I was like, I'm just going to wait until they walk towards me, and then I'll dismember them. See exactly what I did here. I didn't quite dismember the TA, but I came close. And I actually did get it off on her finally. And then I hooked the Enchantress. And that was a pretty big swing for us, because that got the Monkey King 700 extra gold. Which is going to be just enough to finish his Echo Saber and then some. And again, our Medusa is unfortunately dying to the Weaver. There's not a whole lot she can do at this point because she's so far behind. Now that I've got my Blade Mail, I can play a little bit more aggressively. These heroes. And I was paying attention mid, so I saw that the Monkey King stunned Melina, so I was able to guarantee that I got my hook off there.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Again, because the axe is out of position, I'm able to use my Dismember on him. But unfortunately, there was too many heroes here, so I ended up dying again. And it looks like their Weaver is pretty fed at this point. He has the highest net worth by about 2,000 gold. 2,500 now. And that can be pretty bad for us this game. So again, we recovered a little bit, but the game just seems to be getting worse overall for us. I go up to the Enchantress and I'm waiting for the Wraith King to get closer, that way I can use Dismember, and he has his stun.
Treasures.
Let's go ahead and skip ahead a little bit more.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Fortified. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Unfortunately, me and the Monkey King weren't communicating there, so he stunned about the same time I threw the hook. So I wasn't able to catch him. If anything, I probably should have been waiting for the Monkey King to throw his first.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I waited too long throwing the hook there. See, when the Weaver goes on me, I just use the Blade Mail,
Dire's middle tower
and that'll discourage him from attacking me as much. And I'm trying to, when I'm going over here, I'm trying to balance out attacking the beetle versus running away. So the beetles lower your armor by a lot over time, so you want to try knocking them off as fast as you can. But at the same time, Axe was chasing me, so whenever Axe got close, I just started walking in instead of attacking the beetle. And that's what allowed me to get out of range of his call right there. And the Monkey King had a pretty good use of his ultimate there. I really like that. It cuts them off here so they can't effectively walk through. Like the Enchantress just has to turn back. And the Weaver's got kind of screwed as well. So that was really good play by him.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Again, I'm just able to walk at people and use Dismember.
Is under attack.
Like, Dismember is just a really good skill. It's honestly the reason why we've managed to come back here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Even if you're not good at hitting hooks, using Dismember to the best of your ability can make a large difference and make or break whether you win the game. Just gonna go ahead and skip ahead a little bit more.
Radiant structures.
Again, we have the ward here for a little bit longer, so we want to push while we can. And because I have about 200 damage due to all my flesh heap, I'm just attacking the tower now so I can get as much damage on it as possible.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I went ahead and went mid, just to prevent the creeps from doing too much damage here.
Where's my pension?
I'm getting a Shiva's this game because the attack slow is going to help us against a lot of their heroes, and the active component is also going to be really helpful as well. It'll also give me some much needed armor against the Weaver, which will be very important.
Or meant to do that.
Just pushing. Okay, so we see the Weaver here. I'm walking towards him. Again, I should have waited for the Monkey King to throw his stun first, so that was really on me, if anything. So I turn back, and I want to be careful about using Dismember on Weaver because he has Lincolns, but I immediately see that the Gyrocopter used Missile on the Weaver, and you proc the Lincoln, so I'm free to use Rupture now. Because I have Aether Lens, I'm actually able to reach the Weaver before he is able to move again. Because that I'm able to get kill on him. Unfortunately, we have 2 deaths in the meantime. So this ends up going pretty badly for us, for now at least. But see, I'm kind of waiting right now to see if I can turn this. I'm not running yet because I still have a lot of health. And the main threat in their team is the Weaver, who's now dead. So I see that the TA was right here attacking the Wraith King, and she can't actually see me, so that's why I threw the hook out here. I'm able to bring her out of her meld, and now I can just chase her.
Give a hack, Joel. That look who more losses.
Could have maybe played that a little bit better, but I think that fight went about as well as it can, at least as far as my performance is concerned. It was a little unfortunate that Axe showed up at the same time I hooked the TA and started following her.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Let's go ahead and skip ahead a little further.
Radiant's bottom tower has been denied.
Let's look at the gold graph now. So, because of all the fights and ganks we've been able to turn around thanks to my Dismember, the gold graph has actually started to go in our favor. It's dipped down a little bit thanks to that fight we lost, but it's going to keep going up here now shortly. Especially once I get a Shiva's, which will dramatically increase my survivability and also give our team a better chasing mechanic as well as more damage. And right now I want the Wraith King to break the Lincolns, because I have nothing to break it myself. I maybe should have considered going a Force Staff before the Shiva's Guard, so I could break the Lincolns. But I felt like I needed something more expensive to deal with the Weaver at first.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Thankfully, the Monkey King and the Wraith King stun at the exact same time and do a bunch of damage, so I'm able to just hook the Weaver and kill him that way.
Dire's bottom
So again, being patient just pays off a lot. And just walk up and Dismember. Easy kill. And now, if you take a look at their heroes, they've got Lena and Enchantress coming up, but the rest of their heroes aren't going to be back for another 40 to 50 seconds. So even though we might not necessarily get the tower here, we can come very close to it. In fact, we already been able to take the tower, because our Wraith King has the best later, which makes a pretty big difference.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
Right now I'm kind of just looking to see if I can get a hook, or maybe walk up to somebody and use Dismember. And again, same thing we've seen before. I wait for Lena to commit to an action. So I kind of walk around, look for an opening. I see Lena going to attack the Wraith King, so I throw the stun. I throw the hook. And it lands. And then she's dead afterwards.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
I walked all the way over here because I needed to be able to make sure I could land the hook. I was afraid that my allies might block it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
At this point, I just kind of TP'd because I knew the Wraith King was going to die, and there was nothing I could do to save him because everything of mine was on cooldown. So I just TP'd.
I saw that ending from...
And now the game has massively swung in our favor. We've got a ton of kills all in a row. We've taken a tower and a ranged barracks, and we only lost like a Wraith King in exchange.
Dire's middle
And because of
tower
that,
is under
we've
attack.
had a huge shoot up in net worth
Dire's
compared to
middle
them.
tower has
I
fallen.
have 32 flesh heap stacks. I have a Shiva's Guard
Dire's
now.
top tower is under
And
attack.
now all of a sudden our team is in the lead. And at this point, there's really nothing additional that happens. We kind of just win some more fights via this member and miscellaneous hooks, and then end the game. So that's it. Like I said, for roaming Pudge, you just kind of wander around the map with your boots and your rot looking for kills. And remember, use your hook conservatively, and wise use of this member can really save games that were you were doing poorly in. So for the next video in the series, I think I will use a hero like Phantom Assassin or Juggernaut, one of the other heroes that is high in usage for the less than 2k bracket. But if you guys have any suggestions or requests, I'll be more than happy to consider them. Let me know if you guys have any feedback, questions, or any comments. Thank you.